Welcome to Dying Isn't Romantic, where we get real about living with dying. I'm your host, Dina Hamilton. In episode 6, I'm Tired, we'll talk about fatigue and burnout, how you get it, and what to do about it. Welcome back. Hey, can I just be honest with you for a little bit? I am just so tired. I mean, come on. Things have been a little disappointing since the transplant. I mean, we didn't get that big miracle. It creates a lot of tension. That's exhausting. We're having to do a lot of appointments. We just dealt with a round of upper respiratory gunk and pneumonia. I'm dealing with raising a 6-year-old kid and everything that goes along with that. And financial stress, emotional stress. It is exhausting. So why am I bringing all this up? Well, a couple of reasons. Another confession here. It makes me feel really guilty that I'm tired, and sometimes I just want to quit. So I'm here to tell you, it's okay. It's okay to be tired. It's okay to want to quit, as long as you don't. And it's okay to talk about it. Not only that, we need to talk about it. It doesn't mean you're a failure or that you're weak. And there's absolutely no reason to feel guilty about it. We need to get that out of the way up front. So why do we feel so tired and defeated sometimes? Well, we've got to remember that going through any kind of potentially fatal or fatal illness is a battle. It's a lot of work. It's also really important to remember that while we are warriors fighting this battle, we're also human. In a real battle with real warriors, warriors take care of themselves and they take care of each other. And that's what we're here for. And our battle is a little bit unique because unlike that soldier on the battlefront, most of us are dealing with far more than that battle in front of us. We're dealing with homes and families and finances and all of these other concerns on top of whatever illness we or our loved ones are facing. That can be a lot to carry, and it's no wonder we get tired. And then there's the guilt that comes along with it because we think we're supposed to be superhuman, and we're not. For me, I look at other people going through, and I think, they've got it all together. They're never tired. But I'm wrong. I know they are. And of course, I have that tendency to think that everyone's battle is bigger than mine. And that may be true. And at this time, I'd like to take a second because I know there's people that are going through even more than I am. And I want to give them a shout out. I mean, you guys are incredible and you rock. And I'm pulling for you. But even though there's people out there that might have a heavier burden than me, it doesn't mean that my battle is any less important, and neither is yours. I've told you before that I don't like comparison and competition. Everyone's situation is different and unique. And we're here not to compare or compete. We're here to support one another. That's what this podcast is all about. So I say if you see a fellow warrior that's struggling, pick up the slack. Give them a kind word, whatever it takes. And if you see one that seems to have it all together and doesn't seem to have any worries, then applaud them. They're doing a great job, and they probably have a lot of worries behind the scene. But applaud that they're able to keep it together. So what can we do about this feeling of constantly being tired and burnt out? Well, my first suggestion is one that you're going to hear me speak about over and over again. You might even get a little tired of it, but it's the most important thing. Whether you're a caregiver, a patient, a loved one, a family member, and it's simply this: self-care, self-care, self-care. My big problem is that when I take a step back and start thinking about taking care of me, I feel a little guilty. I feel like all of my time and effort should go towards taking care of my husband. But if I don't take care of me, if I don't get proper nutrition, rest, and me time, then I am failing my husband. I am failing in my role as his caregiver. Because if I don't take care of me, I cannot take care of him. I mean, come on. If you're driving a car and you never put gas and oil and water and tires and all of this into it, you're not going to drive that car very long, and it will be useless to you. The same goes as a caregiver. If you don't care of you, you can't take care of anyone else. And self-care isn't just important for caregivers. You patients out there, it is really going to hurt your health, mentally, physically, and emotionally, if you don't take a step back every once in a while. Go do something fun if you can. Do something you enjoy, or just have some quiet time. And be sure you're getting your rest. Be sure you're listening to your doctor. You are the most important part in all of this. Honestly, if you're involved in this process at all, you don't just have to be a caregiver or a patient. If you're a family member, a loved one, a close friend, take care of you. As I said before, this is a battle, and it takes an army to fight it. It's not just me and my husband in my army. There's a lot of other people involved. And they all have their separate roles, and they are valuable to us in their own ways. And that's another thing you can do to help with fatigue and stress and general burnout. Choose your army carefully. What do I mean by that? Well, you have enough stress in your life without stressing about other people and their reactions and things like that. Now, I'm not saying to eliminate everyone in your life that's not perfect. No, I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I'm kind of saying the opposite. Do eliminate people that are hurtful or hateful or cause an inordinate amount of stress, because don't we have enough of that already? And then kind of assign units like in a battle. You know, our front line is, of course, myself and my husband and immediate family and close friends. But then we have those other units, the ones that, in other circumstances, we might have a problem with, because some of them don't call and check all the time. They're not always available. But you know what? Worrying about them being perfect causes more stress. So, look at them as your support system. Not your everyday support system, but hey, if you hear from that person once a year and for 5 minutes they encourage you, take that 5 minutes. It's as simple as that. Don't stress over who's in your corner and who's not. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. Everybody's fighting a battle. So let them fight their battle and be glad of the time they can give you. Value that and cherish that. I say this because a lot of times we unnecessarily cut down our army Our Army is our support system. And sometimes that person that talks to us once a year, in that moment, in that one conversation, can be so refreshing. And we need that. And the way armies work is they work together. If we expect everybody to be there all the time, our whole army will be burnt out and useless to us. So use your army judiciously, and you'll always have somebody there when you really need them. And another thing about armies, they help each other. They give back. So respect each other's battles. No one's battle is more or less important than someone else's. Never forget that. And never forget the people that were there for you, whether every day or every once in a while. And be there when they need them. Be that ear when they need it. And then there's another type of person that's just going to completely step back once you're diagnosed. And that's okay. Because let me tell you something. Not everybody is equipped and comfortable to battle with you. Doesn't mean they don't care. I mean, come on. We've all had that experience of you hear terrible news and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle it. It's too emotional. Or sometimes you are terrified that you're going to open your mouth and say the wrong thing and sound like a big jerk. And do you know what we need to do about those people? Forgive them, love them, and recognize that they'll be there if and when they're ready, and if not, that's okay. Because we don't need to add unnecessary stress. And as I keep saying, respect each other's battles, no matter what it is, even if it's not being able to deal with your battle. And please, if your battle gets to the point where you are so fatigued and so burned out that even with basic self-care and your armies of support systems, you still are not able to cope, please reach out to a professional, whether it's a counselor through your church, a professional counselor, your own family doctor. Reach out to somebody. They may be able to help you in ways you haven't even thought of. But whatever you do, take good care of yourself. You are so important, more so than you even realize. I don't care what your role is in the battle. Each member is important. And please never forget that. Thank you for letting me vent. And remember, I'm here for you too. I know you're tired too sometimes. Or sometimes you just need somebody who's not involved in your battle to just listen. So give me a shout out. You can send me an email at dyingisn'tromantic@gmail.com or leave a comment on the website at www.dyingisn'tromantic.com. Until next time, this has been Dina Hamilton with Dying Isn't Romantic.
You've been listening to Dying Isn't Romantic with Dina Hamilton. If you're finding it hard to cope mentally or emotionally, please reach out to your primary care physician for a referral to a mental health professional, or reach out to your faith leader for counseling if you are more comfortable. If you're having thoughts of suicide or self-harming, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255. This is Ray Hamilton. Please join Dina the next time for another episode of Dying Isn't Romantic.